Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the second episode. Right. I've been confusing myself a bunch with session numbers and episode numbers, whereas episode numbers are things that have actually streamed, whereas session numbers are, how many sessions we've had. So you guys are session 134, episode 2. Welcome back. In case you guys missed us last week, we have a big thing happening. At least I think it's big because it's really cool. Why doesn't someone tell us what that is? This is a pretty easy recap this week.
If you don't mind, I need the inspiration. I'd love to take this. We last week killed the big slippery thing fairly quickly, with minimal damage to everyone except for Tajira. And then we encountered the king of the mountain, right? Yeah. And ran the wrong way, and then ran the right way, and down to Jira, but we were able to pick her back up and got away, running fast enough since this thing was extremely large that we escaped. Lots more traveling on foot, coming across some interesting things. Martel chased a butterfly. We found the big circle arena. I don't know what to call it for that the rink fighting. Walking all around, and it lit up really cool with all of the what I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of. The things that light fire on around the outside.
Brazier.
Brazier, thank you. 15 showed up, called the challenge for an hour from then, spent the next hour strategizing as to how to approach, and we set the fight with no weapons, no magical items, no armor, and to the knockout, not to the death. And we left off about to begin said fight.
We did. Did she miss anything? Anybody?
No, that was pretty thorough.
I specifically remembered because I wanted the extra
information. And you do.
You've got five that's on the other side of the ring watching, right?
Yeah,
yes.
that is 5. 5 over yonder. And just to quickly follow up, Lithian, that will put you at 3 inspiration points.
Oh, so many rerolls.
Read the other options.
I'm literally going there right now.
Well, if no one else has any specifics more to sprinkle in, I guess the only thing that is left to do is roll initiative.
Okay.
I'm gonna have fun with that, by the way.
Good voice.
That's absolutely the wrong soundtrack I wanted. Where did it go?
Yeah, I got it zoomed out so I can see everything. This is one of those moments where you wish you had a familiar just to watch from above.
The sky cam. Clear this.
15
initiative. And then I'm gonna roll initiative.
Did you choose an expertise already, Lithian?
Oh shit. No, I forgot I could do that. So I get oh right, I think I went with athletics. That's what it was.
I remember
right.
mildly talking about that.
How
okay.
do I get
I forgot, so
in the thing?
No, it's a good reminder.
That's
Also remember that you get 5 temporary hit points at the start of your turn.
I already have all of this written down.
Good.
Little cheat sheet next to you.
Oh yeah.
Just making sure.
yes, we want success.
Well, I mean, the numbers tell us all. Lithian, you go first.
How long can I jump?
Um,
That's a really good question.
yeah, it really is. But hang on, I have a calculator for this.
Running start, it should be your strength score.
She does have a little extra
Mhm.
something. If there's nothing else I'm missing, with a running start, you can jump 30 feet.
Okay.
This music is reminding me of anime. Sorry, continue.
Oh, you're fine. I don't
Another
think
goal.
that there's any point where I have enough movement to jump. Oh, right. Diagonals exist, don't they?
They do.
Thank you. Okay. I am going to bonus action rage.
Mm-hmm. That's a great choice.
It is a good choice. And for my action, I am going to transform into a tiger. Hold on, I know how to do this. I think.
Right click.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tiger or hybrid?
Let's do hybrid.
Okay.
More mobility. And then I will take my jump to about here-ish. I think that's that's it.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it.
I like it.
So, Lithian starts this off with just... It's kind of like one fluid motion, and at the same time, it's filled with this primal, like, ferocity, as just the muscles ripple across the form, and everything just kind of shifts and bursts, and fur springs out, and from just this primal roar, there is suddenly no longer the Tafakari as Lithian, and now instead in the place of the were-tiger lycanthrope that then takes a horrific step back and then a huge leap to the other rock where 15 is waiting in all of his bronzed glory, literally. But 15 is not afraid of you. 15 is going to step right into your threat range. And he's going to open up with an attack. I feel like we're not going to have too many misses because that's not how this level of combat tends to work out. But that's a 26. I think that's going to hit.
I think so.
All right. He is going to expend a 4th level spell slot. And you're going to watch as the flat of his palm just strikes out at you at lightning speeds and collides with your chest. And when you sort of recover and get ready for the next blow, there is a brand that is seared into your chest. So I'm just going to quickly roll damage for 15.
No. The brand is enough.
No, it's not. Let's see. 13 points of bludgeoning damage. That unfortunately your resistances do not reduce. Actually, no, that's not true. I forgot. We're not talking about your lycanthropy, we're talking about your raging, so it will reduce. The immunity from your lycan form doesn't work, but the resistance from your rage does. So give me a second. Hang on. We will reduce that from 13 to 6. Sorry, I got confused from after you stare at enough monster stat blocks where they always have the contingency of silver or magic. It's just like, oh yeah, that's what this is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, wait, no, Barb's resistant to all physical damage all the time, ever, forever.
Different things.
Yes. But also, because this one hit just keeps on giving, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
No, thank you. I'm actually
Come on,
fine.
you should be good at those.
I am. That would be plus 23.
Oh, okay, you succeed. And he's just gonna follow up with 2 more unarmed strikes. The next one's a natural 1, so that's not gonna hit. And then a natural 18, which is going to be a 29, which will. 12 reduced to 6. 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And he's just very silently observing you and how this goes. And then as he comes up to you with this flurry of unarmed strikes, he takes like 1 or 2 steps back, and with each step, he slowly dissolves until you don't see anything. And he turns invisible. He does look like he's stepping out of your attack range if you would like to take a swing.
Yep.
All right, make an attack of opportunity, please.
Oh. God. Need to remember how to roll with no weapon. $23.
Yep, that's gonna hit. Really like that number.
It's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Just roll it for everything. Attack to hit, damage, whatever. 23s all around.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, probably.
$12 points of piercing.
Okay. Claws lash out through the air. You feel purchase of some kind. But then he vanishes.
Do I get an idea of the direction he went?
Not that your passive perception tells you. He's sneaky boy. But it is your turn.
Okay. I regain the temporary hit points, right?
Yeah, you would gain 5.
Well, there's anything to try and find him would take an action, right?
Yeah, it's a search action.
Okay. I'm going to yes, move forward a bit. And just hold an attack until I see him materialize if he happens to be in front of me.
Okay. All right. We are holding.
I'm gonna attack the air. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. No, that's fair. 15 is going to materialize mid-attack. Again, unsurprisingly, we're gonna hit. This is gonna be a bit of a slugfest, I think.
Yep.
However, this time he will spend his bonus action, and you will watch a series of the tattoos that are branded into his metallic skin kind of flare very briefly with this pulse of green magical energy. And you watch as it almost seems like an invisible coating of magic is covering his hands. And he goes in for the same series of attacks. The first attack that hit, oh, that's a big one. You know, I say big one, but I'm rolling a d4 for one of these, and I'm just constantly rolling 4s, but it feels good. 4 plus 9, 13 plus 6, 19 plus 4, 23. And this is where the bad news comes in. The magic, his attacks are now dealing force damage. So 23 points of force damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving
throw. 22.
Success. We'll never know what that does.
Nope.
I kind of want to see it happen, but we're never gonna.
Do you get my attack on him?
You do. Because now that he's materialized and you see him, he basically just gets this one good punch with a flat-handed strike right into your ribs, and then you just have this opening to just hit him.
Do I get both attacks or just one?
By rules as written, you're only ever supposed to get one because the attack action thing is only on your turn, but I hate that. Like, it makes martial characters less good for some reason. Less better, whatever. They're not as good with that, whereas spellcasters still get to do stuff. So, yes, you get both attacks.
Okay.
It's not nuts to that.
I will use... The first one is a 27 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
$13 points of slashing damage on the first.
13. Okay, solid.
23.
Yeah, you know. You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be haunted by that number tonight. Just watch.
17 points of piercing damage.
Okay, that one went way better.
Yep. Well, hey, I can only do so much here.
Okay, 2 just rapid claw strikes in the opening that he's provided, but then he does immediately follow up with 2 more attacks that both land with a 26 and a 30. Let's see. I'm just going to give you the whole number. I'm just going to roll both damages.
Cool.
Oh, that was a big one. 41 points of force damage. And these 2 are just absolute slicing blades from his hands. They just seem to just emit this power force when they strike you that you're not used to given your usual resilience. And this time he squares up on you. It is your turn.
Oh, hey, I forgot. I have bitten him. He needs to make a Constitution save.
Good to know there have been bite attacks mixed in.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me grab that dice and see. Yeah. What could be worse than 15, but like in 15?
Hey.
That's a modified 20.
Yeah, that's fine.
You mean you don't want to make him a Lycan Tiger?
I mean, doesn't bother me. I am going to just go ahead and attack twice. Yeah.
Okay.
What? One bite and one claw, because I thought I was saying that out loud before, but I guess not.
Although if it makes you feel any better, again, everybody gets one. It's in your traits feature for your lichen stuff. You can actually make a bonus action offhand claw attack if you use the action to attack with your claws. Just letting you know.
Where is that?
I have everything open. It is.
Oh, at the very end of the
Yeah.
sentence that I didn't
Mhm.
read correctly. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, let's do both with the claws because I was paying attention.
Claw, bite.
Um,
Class.
perfect. 28 for the first one.
Yep.
$16 points of damage for the first.
16. Good.
27 to hit on the second one.
Uh-huh.
13 points of slashing damage on.
Not as good.
And then the bite. Oh, that's actually a modified 20.
It's
All right.
you took the armor off.
True. Ooh. 18 points of
Ooh.
piercing damage and a con save.
Yep. Hang on. Basic math is hard some days. You know what? I'm just gonna get. And a con save. Well, that's a natural 2. Plus that makes it 8.
That's a fail.
Well then. I guess we'll deal with that later.
That's very much a fail. Oof.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into the whole weirdness of how lichens can actually kill each other because they're immune to physical attacks, but they don't have magical claw attacks.
Right. That
Yeah,
is
so-
odd.
Yeah, if you pit 2 lichens from the Monster's Handbook against each other, they can literally go to town on one another and never successfully kill the other one. Ever. It's very
Interesting.
All right.
all right.
Oh, I have
Lithian.
to take my hit points back. Hold on. I need
Yeah.
my temporary hit points.
You do get those 5-10 hit points in. You're gonna want them.
Yeah, I know.
And again, just a flurry of claws following up with a bite. All of which he's taking in stride, but you're now seeing, again, across his golden metallic skin, just these slashes you're leaving in him, and he's just bleeding. These little small trails of blood running down his chest and arms and neck where you've just been managing to land blows over and over again. I wouldn't quite say he's looking bad yet, but he's getting there. He's getting there. Well, at this point, there's really nothing else to this except to keep doing the thing he's going to do.
I'm sure it's really exciting to watch.
It is. It's probably very exciting to watch. So same thing as last round. For better or for worse, he's going to use his bonus action. You're going to watch the tattoos on his arms glow again. And then with these flat-handed strikes, he's just going to come in and just start slicing. First attack is a natural 1. Second attack is a 16. And the third attack is a crit.
So you made up for it.
I did. Did the 16 hit?
Unfortunately.
Okay, so we're gonna get that one out of the way right now. So 15 points of force damage from that second attack. The first one kind of comes high. You narrowly avoid it. The other one comes very low, abusing the fact that you had to dodge out of the high attack, and it manages to clip you. But then as you're anticipating the third attack, as he's been coming in with these 3-strike combos over and over again, you're not prepared for when he purposely overextends himself and then drops to his side and in a very like capoeira-esque style spins and comes up with a hook kick from below. And that is what the crit is. Because why not give him some flavor? So let's see, 10 plus 4, 14 flat, plus 10, 24, plus whatever these are. 26 plus 4, 30 points of force damage.
All right. Cool.
It's your turn.
Get my temporary hit points back. I'm also going to use 2 points of inspiration for legendary endurance. And use the last 4 of my hit dice.
Ah. Yeah. If anyone watching is curious about how Lithian's doing, you're more than welcome to make a medicine check from the ringside.
I can't believe that this is the time that I do it, but I crit. So 21.
That's very funny. How's Lithian feeling?
Hold on, I'm doing math. So my con modifier times 4, so 16 right there. I rolled 2 12s, which is great.
That is great.
So 24 plus 16 is 40, plus an 8, so 48, plus 5, 53.
Woo.
Oh, that brings me all the way back up to 99. Okay, thank God.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Cool. Okay, and that wasn't an action, right? That was just at the start of the turn?
Shit, man. I gotta double check the thing. It should specify, and if it doesn't say, yeah, that's all it takes. I'll go double check, but continue with your turn.
Want the official ruling on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my, well, now that I know, 3 attacks.
Lycan regeneration's a hell of a drug.
Oh, this is turning in my favor. The first one's a crit.
Nice.
I'm gonna roll damage on that right now while I'm thinking. While I'm figuring.
And yeah, just to clarify for you, it is just at the start of your turn. If you spend the points, you can do that.
Good to know. Okay. So this was a 10, or excuse me, 8 base. Team. 27 points of damage on the first one.
That's a big hit. That was a claw attack?
That was a claw attack.
Okay.
Second claw attack is an 18.
To hit?
28 to hit.
Oh, yeah, those are very different numbers. Yeah, the 28 hits.
Sorry. Yeah, no. I was like, yeah. That works. Fine. "12 points of damage on the second one.
Okay.
And bite. That is another crit.
Oh man. Yeah, bring it.
Okay. All right. So that's the base.
On the bites. And I'm gonna keep rolling them just to keep the mystery up as to whether or not if it's taken hold or not.
Fair enough. "33 points of piercing damage."
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you wanna you wanna give us a little narrative imagery for the whap you just delivered to him? The 1, 2, 3?
Sure. So at this point, like, she got to below 50 hit points for her, which she hasn't done in a long time. So she was feeling very upset. So she kind of, I don't know how the whole like endurance thing looked from the outside, but she just kind of felt the fire build up inside. And almost in a monk-like fashion, the way that she just the claws scratched and just a very animalistic bites. The elf that is underneath there doesn't look like she's there.
All right. 15 is looking rough. But he intends to try to not go out like a punk. But he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna bonus action. You'll see the tattoos flash to life, and then he's gonna go to town. First hit is an 18, natural 18, so 29.
Yeah.
Next one's a natural 19. Come on, 20. Natural 19. All right, so 3 hits. 20. Ooh, that's a real big one. 20, 44. Holy crap! Calm down, 15. I've rolled almost. I almost rolled max damage all 3 times. 48 plus 9. 57 points of force damage. Oh, this part matters. That first attack, there's a con save involved in it for you.
I can do that. Modified 20.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
A +9 is great.
Yeah, so standing atop this rock, having sort of abandoned tactics, the two just sort of begin this slugfest where it is literally in exchange for blows where there are just streaks of blood running across the top of the rock now. As claws are cutting into 15, and magically imbued hands are cutting into lithium. And you're just seeing these streaks of blood being cast out from either side. Does 15 have any other tricks up his sleeve? No, I don't believe he does. Okay, well, that's his turn.
All right. Get my temp hit points back.
Because every little bit counts.
Yeah. We're gonna just throw 3 claws at him.
Just
26 to hit.
Yep.
10 points of slashing damage. Really weak.
Yeah. I'm not sweating over here. You're sweating.
A natural 20.
Oof. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. $28 points of slashing damage.
Okay. So this first blow comes across, catches him over his shoulder into his chest, and then he gets ready to defend the second blow, but it is already incoming, and it basically catches him from his torso across his chest up until under his neck, and you just everything just cuts a huge line into his flesh. And there's a moment where you're pretty confident he's gone, and then you see one of his tattoos flare and pulse with magic, and he has just enough vigor to stay standing.
I have one more hit.
I know you do.
27.
Yep.
$15 points of slashing damage.
Not that I think this matters, but he's going to use his reaction to attack you as he falls unconscious. Would you believe me that it was a 20? I don't think I can possibly roll high enough to knock you unconscious, though. So
I don't know. Not with one hit.
yeah. Let's see. 14 plus 11, 25 plus 10, 35 points of force damage.
Nope, not great.
Yep. So the last claw attack comes in, just sort of a huge, just off to the side swipe that just rakes from the other side down. So you just get this nasty crisscross across his chest. And as it's just clearly, he's just sustained so much damage. He just, in his last moments, just swings back with the fist and then extends it and literally stabs into your shoulder. Like his fingers are up to his third knuckles into your shoulder blade, like almost penetrating out the back. And then there's a moment where you're enduring that pain, and then you watch as he just kind of slumps and falls. And 15 is defeated.
And Lithian will immediately drop to the ground as well. Just like in exhaustion. Because I have 12 hit points. You almost got me.
It was the legendary resolve.
Uh-huh.
If you hadn't boosted your HP back up, I was pretty sure he was gonna get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad that I still had hit dice left. I'm glad I was smart enough not to use all of them before.
Somewhere far in the background, you just hear a "Woo! Yay!"
Over the pounding of the blood and the blood in your ear, in your head.
I will
It's amazing.
drop the half tiger. Just be me again.
You will notice, and all of you will see, as a figure materializes next to them in the form of 5.
That was a well-fought battle. Truly, what it was expected from someone of the Kirel family line. Allow me to aid you both.
And she will sort of put both of her hands palms up in the air. And you'll see these 2 little light green spheres that will generate. And then she'll turn and palm them down. And you both will receive 70 hit points.
Oh, you said mend. I heard end, and I was like, excuse me?
No.
Okay.
All of your wounds quickly seal shut. 15, without missing a beat, immediately just kind of gets up, and you see him just cracking bones and flexing muscles that have now been mended back together from all of your claws.
That was a worthy battle. Allow me to extend my honor to you.
And he puts out an arm for you.
I will shake.
Classic Beastmaster style shake.
Yes, of course. It was a great fight. I don't expect I'll have anything like that anytime ever again. Maybe.
And then kind of ceremoniously, he actually takes a knee and lowers his head. And then 5 kind of pips up again.
And this is what the reward is for winning the bout.
And you will see 5 reach behind them and spin around on a leather strap a small satchel, and they will retrieve honestly the most plain looking, like 6-inch long, 4-inch by 4-inch high wooden box you've ever seen before in your life, and it has pretty much no other markings on. And she sort of just between both hands just holds it out before you.
I will take it.
Is there anything else that you require while you were here with the rink?
Am I the only one that can hear this, or can everybody hear this?
Everybody, I mean, they're quite a distance away, so people with,
Okay.
not a 10 or 11 passive perception can hear. So basically, Tajira could hear these conversations, because they're not speaking overly loud, but they're also not whispering.
She's been.
I don't think that there's anything else that I need, but I think my friends might spouts.
Very well. I will hear what they have to say. 15. Tend to your wounds. We will be leaving shortly.
And 15 nods, and then gets up, gives you one last nod, and then turns around and begins striding off of the rock. And as he does in very classic 15 fashion, he slowly fades out of vision. A few moments will be taken between 5 and Lithian to exit the arena and walk back over to where your little group of cheerleaders reside.
Martel will run up and give Lithian a hug. Really great fight.
Congratulations on your victory.
Indeed, congratulations.
She will very tiredly, half hug you back. And just give like yeah, thanks.
It looked like it went well.
Well, I won. I guess that's well. But, I brought 5 over here with me. I didn't know if any of you had anything that you needed of the ring. I don't think. But I couldn't remember.
Would Martel recognize 5 as the person who warned them about the Mountain King?
Yes.
Okay, then Martel will say, "Oh, thank you for the warning back there. We appreciated it." although we didn't fully understand where the threat was coming from. She kind of embarrassedly kicks at the stand.
My bad.
I had assumed, given that I was ahead of its trajectory, my warning would have been sufficient enough to ward you from where I was. Pardon me for making an assumption.
Well, everyone survived, and that's what matters.
However, as mentioned to Lithian, as all winners are afforded here, I am offering a small amount of courtesy to offer any aid to you, to her, or to any of you as extended by her wishes. Is there anything that the rank may be capable of aiding with you?
Oh, well, we could use a hand getting back home. If there's anybody who knows how to do that sort of thing, teleportation magic and the like.
If that is all you require, we can happily provide that.
Marta just kind of looks at everybody, shrugs.
I might have a strange ask. If someone comes visiting named Sarah, be kind.
His impassive brown eyes just sort of turn onto you and just observe you very, just silently.
Not saying change your traditions or anything along those lines.
If you were bold enough and capable enough to beat us in a fight, then the traditions would change. We do not lack decorum nor manners. Visitors to the island must only respect that the other beings that live here might be just as dangerous to them as they are to us.
Thank you.
Person, you mentioned visits, and she survives to us, and she will be seen.
Thank you.
Martello is also blankly staring at Hasbard.
I do not think I have any requests. Shall we continue forward?
Oh, it seems that all we need right now is a way home.
A real quick question, DM. The book that was given to me, was it understood that that is what's for my mother, or do I need to ask?
That's what you told the exchange was. You would go
Okay.
there for the bout. If you were successful, they would give you something that your mother wanted. That was it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
And you're, of course, trusting that the Rink are honorable people.
Or not, that's my mom's problem.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Where is it you would like to return to?
Well, yes, I believe Gileath would be our next destination. We do need to deliver the package to, Miss Kirel.
Very well. If there is no other need for delay, I can send you there now.
Thank you.
Fine. Thank you.
Right. You will all gather around, and your watch as 5, with very wide, sweeping arm and hand gestures that generate magical, glowing, light green arcane glyphs in the air, will eventually create the form of a 5-foot diameter circle. And then, right as she brings her hands together, there is a snap, like a crack of thunder that happened right next to you. And you feel all of your hair stand on end, and this sensation of vertigo for a brief moment, and then you find yourselves surrounded in the busy streets of one of the numerous districts in Geliath. Fives is standing still with you, and then after the most brief of moments where 5 more or less observes the surroundings, is confident that it is Geliath, looks to all of you, nods, and then blinks back out of existence.
Asgard waves.
That was nice.
That was really cool.
Yes, some stories make more sense now.
Hey, the thing that I have is in a box, right? It's a very unassuming box.
Yeah, it's a wooden box. And there's no markings on it. The wood seems nice. Like, the finish is kind of bright and warm. Other than that, it's like literally a plain rectangular wooden box that has a seam in the middle. That's it.
Were we told not to open this?
No. Hasbard, hey, can you see if this is trapped or something will spring out bad if I open this? I want to know what's inside.
Like, I can check, but I'm not going to open it, because, like, when you open something, that's when things can activate. Because, like, the trap doesn't have to necessarily have anything to do with the outside, so I can't tell if it's trapped unless I'm inside. Does that make sense?
So can you go inside?
Like, unless you want me to drill a hole in the box, and even that might activate the ward. Like, that's the trick with wards. Like, lots of them have keywords. But I can definitely check. Here, pass it to me.
I'm
Wait,
sure none of us want you to drill a hole in Miss Kirel's box.
I'm not drilling the hole. I was just going to check the outside to see if there's, like, noticeable traps. I'm not opening it.
If Lithian hands you the box, she will hand you a completely unassuming rectangular wooden box.
With no, like, little knobs or anything to open it.
Perfectly smooth planes. The only thing that mars its whole surface is a small line that runs all the way down the center of it, where you would assume the box would split in half.
Yeah, so as an air quotes thief, which I'm not, I would know that, like, I can't tell that this would be trapped until it is opened, and once we open it, the trap is sprung unless we have a keyword.
I mean, and sometimes not even a keyword would do it. But there are some things you can try to check for that might tell you there's a trap inside. But given that you also have no idea what the contents are, those could be false positives. Like, you could try to use sound. You could try knocking on the box in certain places to see if it makes a sound of some sort of internal mechanism that you're familiar with. That could be something that's loaded with a trap. Otherwise, there could also be an arcane rune that is like, when jostled, too much, explode. So the only way you can figure it out is by making an investigation check.
Zero will tap you on the back and cast guidance.
Oh, thanks. Is that +2?
It's a D4 with an average of +2. Yes.
if you wish, I can also give you true sight to seeing if there are any spells in it.
Well, that's more the fear, I think, is that there might be a ward inside.
It costs me 25 gold pieces.
I don't want it.
We'll be honest, I would be surprised if they put traps in this box.
Same. However, it's a 30 plus the D4, so. Yeah, let me have a D4, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, roll it anyway. You have it. You might as well.
Tajiro will take 2 steps back.
I mean, so a 34.
34.
You spend like a couple of long minutes, and by long minutes, I mean it's like 5 minutes, but you go through every possible little trick in the book you can possibly imagine. Nothing tells you that this thing is trapped. And nothing happens or triggers when you do little delicate probings. Like, nothing happens. I mean, short of an incredibly gifted master trap maker or a really, really gifted mage, there is nothing wrong with this box other than it's a wooden box.
Here's your wooden box back, Lithian.
I'm gonna open it. Go to look inside.
Okay. Lithian, you open the wooden box. At a glance, just like real quick, little detail that I think Hazard would notice because he's paying very careful attention to this box. When the wooden box is lifted off and you can kind of peer onto the inside, it's lined with a dark substance of some kind. And given your absurdly high investigation check, it looks like it's lined with a moderately. It's lined with a thin sheet of lead.
Please shut that.
However, I mean, the damage would be done.
Yeah.
As Lithian, as you open up the box, it slides in half like so. And inside, there is a red, a rectangular piece, as expected with the shape of the box, red cloth that is very neatly wrapped, and then it is tied off shut with a golden thread.
Wait, what's the issue with the lead?
I don't know. I just find that when something is lined on the inside with either like a pure element or something that is normally used for blocking things, normally terrorist, it makes me a little nervous.
I mean, if you just want to make a casual Arcana check, anybody, I could explain part of you why that would be a thing.
Casual Arcana check.
Yeah, casual Arcana check from anybody who wants one.
I rolled terribly. It's 5.
You have no idea why someone would line a box with lead.
Like, I have theories, but I don't know why.
Not definitive.
Modified 20.
That's pretty good.
Where's my stat block? Hold on.
I got a 14.
Okay.
I got a nat 20, total 24.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Definitive knowledge comes from Lithian and Martel both, which is there are several types of spells that allow people to peer through objects or to manipulate objects through a certain distance, and a certain amount of lead will prevent those spells from doing so. This is a protective measure of whatever's inside the box.
What's in the cloth? What's in the cloth?
Do you undo the thread and open it up?
Unless somebody stops.
I don't know what lead does, so I can't give advice.
It's plutonium. Congratulations. You all die a terrible slow death.
Very, very carefully will I open this thing.
The good
This is
news
not
is I
kryptonite.
can't actually get cancer, so
But yeah, it's true. Martel is fine.
everybody
Everyone else,
but
screwed.
me dies a terrible slow death.
Okay. Just a brief reminder, you are standing in the open of city streets. You're on like a big sidewalk in the middle of Gellia. Just so you all know.
Go somewhere more quiet.
Yeah, very
I
loud.
mean, Martel's just watching Lithian. But
Tons
Martel's
of
not
people.
getting involved.
The smells are lovely. You're in the 4th district, by the way. So you're surrounded by very high fashion individuals going to very glitzy restaurants, and you can hear the marketplace not too far away as you can hear people calling sales to get people's attention.
So did it look like we were defusing a bomb in the middle of the street?
Kind of, yeah. And if that were a more common occurrence, I feel like you would have easily caused a panic.
Can we find a quiet side street or alley of some kind?
Sure. I'll take a survival check from 2 individuals. Lithian, you have advantage on this because you're a city girl.
Yeah.
I think you actually have a trait for this. It's similar. Either way, this is yours.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a nat 20, so 22.
Yeah. I mean, Galliath is your city. You kind of get your bearings again after being sort of fixated on getting here on the thing in your hands. And you look around, you recognize the street corner you're on, and you know that if you just head south and then cut over a block, there's an alleyway that cuts up between a hotel and a restaurant. And then there's actually a smaller side alley next to the hotel that very few people ever use.
All right, we'll drag everybody over there and then try and open the potentially dangerous thing.
Yeah. So a couple of minutes walking. A lot of people just kind of, sort of observing a bit of the oddities. Mostly the cheerleader Martel, and the ravaged remains of Lithian's exterior wear. And it's just like, we don't know what's going on there. I kind of want to ask about it. And then they look at Lithian and they go, never mind. So you end up in this short side alley, box in hand, open it up, and then you very carefully, delicately, with one finger, pull on the thread until it comes undone, and then you very carefully begin undoing the folds of the cloth. And as you do, everyone in the alley, you feel a significantly powerful presence suddenly weigh down on you. As inside the box, glowing with a golden, radiant energy, is a small rectangular piece that's about 8 inches high and about 4 inches across, in the shape of a playing card. And on it is the visage of what looks like a Doreen in plate mail, bedecked in feathers, holding this glowing, radiant greatsword in front of them, kind of in this profile. And in very elegant script at the bottom, on a bit of a flowing piece of cloak, just says "The Hero."
Oh, I have immediate regret. I will close it back up right away.
Okay, so you become the kid that has instant regret about picking at your Christmas presents, and you begin rewrapping it.
Yes.
Gotcha. How well do you try to reclose this whole thing back together? Like, is it kind of like just like slapsticky and real fast, or do you actually want to try to put some effort back into it?
I'm gonna put some effort back into it on the chance that we do give it to my mother.
Okay, sleight of hand check then, please.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. Okay.
You figured out doors. Good for you. Come here.
Wait. I have to remember what my life is.
No, fine.
4.
I'm sorry, total?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. There was something about the elegance in which it was very delicately folded. The cloth now has wrinkles and new seams in it, and the thread seems to slip whenever you try to retie the knot. Like it can't stay in a knot anymore. And you just can't reproduce the way it was.
Tizira says, can I try?
Would you be able to
Sure.
give me a chance to roll on that, CJ?
Be careful.
You can make a sleight of hand check.
Wait. Roll. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, no, it's 12.
You manage to actually, get it folded back within and tie off the knot, but again, the presentation does not exist anymore. Before you open it up and there was this presentory elegance, which is sort of surprising coming from a warrior culture like the Ring.
Okay.
You just can't seem to reproduce it.
Does it need to be perfect? If it does, then give it to me and we'll be done with it. I don't really want to touch it though.
I mean, what are we gonna do with it?
Give me it. Is it okay if I try as well?
If you want to take an hour to try to do it, yes.
Oh,
No more casual back alley things. That's done.
Put the lid back on.
Tel's just shaking her head. Says,
I am sure your mother already guessed that you would look at it.
That's a good point.
She knew exactly who she was sending. I suggest we get it to her as quick as possible.
Yep.
We are giving it to her.
Well, we could take it, but then we would make enemies of your mother.
And I don't think we want.
An enemy I don't particularly care to have. However, if our gods need it and or want it, I suspect they have people who can get it. We've located it. That's as much as we need do for now.
Ow.
Anyhow.
sorry.
Yeah, I suppose it's as safe with her as anybody. Alright. Back home again.
Yep.
Okay. You all will catch a carriage back to the 10th district, I'm assuming. Unless you want to take the nearly days-long walk to get back there.
No.
But I didn't think you guys were chumps like that, and I figured you would take one of the fancy carriages to get back.
We are not chumps.
On the carriage ride back, Lithian will make herself presentable again.
It will still take.
Will help her.
It will still take an hour and 45 minutes on one of the fancy carriages, but it is not like the 8-hour foot, the 8-hour hike you'd have to take to get there. And again, there are some fancy carriages, which, for the record, fancy carriage runs 5 gold a head.
I will take care of it.
Let's get that fee out of the way.
I have a question, Martel. Are you able to do that thing where you give someone else those the rest points again, or is that once a day?
Are you asking if I could dance for us while we're riding in a cart?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I need space to dance.
Okay, never mind. I was just worried Lithium might not be.
I'm okay. I need to sleep. But I'm okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Just, we can't fight anything else today, please?
It's not up to us all the time, but yes.
Traffic is the only fight. 'Cause 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 'cause
I promise I will not try to do another show at the arena.
Okay, well, like I said, the carriage ride is about an hour and 45 minutes. But it is a carriage ride done in luxury. The interior of these carriages, belonging to the Pegasus Flight Carriage Company, are incredibly ritzy, and they have a private lane that is shared with only the richest of individuals in Geliath. And it gets you anywhere very quickly. Along with the carriage rides are super smooth. It is widely spoken of that their carriages are magical. The interiors are lush and comfortable, with extra wide seats, capable of seating 8 people. There's a small beverage bar along with fresh fruits, snacks, and baked goods available for any of the riders. It is a first-class experience.
Yeah, I mean, Martel's all into the baked goods.
Yeah, they're little flaky pastries with fruit fillings. Delicious.
Ah, perfect.
Man, this would be a nice short rest if I had any hit dice left.
Sorry. The ride closing, you arrive back in the shaded terraces of the 10th district outside the Keyrell estate, where, almost on cue, Dane is waiting for you. And will help any who need aid down out of the carriage.
I mean, Martel will take his hand and get down off the carriage. Doesn't need the help, but she'll take it.
Yeah, Lithium will not accept help.
It feels like it's been years.
We just literally saw him this morning, right?
Yes, you do realize how short it actually has been, correct?
Yeah, that's the joke. Come on, guys. I didn't want to have to explain it, but hey.
Well, I figured the joke was only in mildly poor taste, given that I think Lithian was probably the one doing most of the difficult work during the expedition.
Not by choice.
I mean, you could have volunteered to fight.
Technically, I didn't think we were allowed to do that, but good to know for the future.
Well, the rules change, but nothing said in the rules that you couldn't.
Definitely would not have done as well.
So, am I looking at the new 15? Or did you just go get the item?
Oh, I just went and got the item, but it's good to know that I could be 15 if I wanted to.
That is. Speaking of which, the item.
Hand it over. Do you know what's in there?
No. I haven't known since she told me that this was happening. Just that it was of import that we acquire it.
That it is.
It gives you a really hard look. You opened the box, didn't you?
Of course I opened the box. You can't tell me you wouldn't have opened the box.
I would not have opened the box.
I don't believe you.
Well, that's your problem. But then again, I am also not the one that frequently likes to cross mother.
Yeah, well, I know she expected it. She knew I was going to open it. But she still sent me, so whatever.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, she probably did it hoping you would fail and learn a lesson or something.
Well, now she has a really powerful thing. And,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Would you like to join me as I deliver it, or would you rather just part ways? From my understanding, you all are quite busy.
You'll have to tell me how she reacts.
Well, yeah.
Hmm?
What are we doing next? Are we going like straight to the other continent? We have things to do here.
Well, we are not capable of going to the other continent just by ourselves.
Yeah,
We'd have to find a way to get teleported there.
that's kind of why I was bringing this up now before Dane left.
Yep.
Um,
No, of course.
Um,
I did volunteer for that particular task. I just wasn't sure if after that particular ordeal there was anything else that really required attention, such as perhaps rest.
yeah.
Before I would send you off into a harsh, inhospitable wasteland.
Oh, please let me sleep in a plush bed.
Okay, I yield my comments. I'm sorry to both of you.
Oh, don't we have to wait for Martel's shoes as well? Like, it's not just me, right?
yes, my shoes should be ready tomorrow. But if you don't mind, I would like to accompany you to the handing over of the box.
Well, if we're staying, I might as well go to that as well.
All right. Well, and then Dane just very promptly hands you the box back. Well, then I'll leave that up to you.
This will be fun.
I was going to ask if you've met my mother before, but you did, and I still am having a hard time believing you used that particular choice of words.
He's very optimistic.
Fools often are.
Well, yeah.
Wow, he just rolled over and took it. Okay.
Just like kind of walks by you and then fades into like existential disexistence.
No, that's what happened to a character in my Tuesday game. You can't both have that.
Guess what? No one can see me, so it's fine.
You don't know that. You haven't rolled.
You're right. But it's still my 25.
Yeah, I can't see shit.
You can't even smell the weird scent of pepper and pumpkins.
I mean, that just never goes away anymore.
Oof.
CJ, I put it on them all. Well, they're not paying attention, so that no one can smell me. I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I swear. I'm kidding.
He goes around with
I was gonna
his.
say, we might have some problems if you're secretly touching Martel.
Yeah. He goes around with his secret experimental peppered pumpkin cologne and just sprays it on everybody. So you never notice when he is or isn't there.
Mm-hmm. I'm always there with.
I hate this lore.
Yeah, it's weird. It did get kind of weird. Okay, well, in which case, you, led by Dane, will take your walk back through the Keyrell estate, over the long reflecting pools leading up to the multi-columned entryway with a double set of stairs on either side. Ascend into the darkened interior where the purple fires held by the statue, the brazier holding statues, will take you down the long hallway.
What are you eating?
Which he will, as per usual, once you've gotten to the door, step off to the side and then with a hand gesture, and the doors will swing open. Sitting inside, with no table this time, just a straight, dark red carpet leading right up to the raised dais and the throne sitting thereon, Lady Keyrell. This time dressed a bit more plainly, which isn't to say cheaply, just nowhere near as much pomp and status is being displayed this time, where she is essentially wearing a set of leather trousers, knee-high boots, and a dark silver embroidered corset and she just has this huge dark cloak pulled over her shoulders. She clearly looks like she's about to travel. Dane will usher you all in. and then once near the throne, will once more sidestep off, and then bow his head to acknowledge that you have been presented.
Hello again, Mother.
Welcome back, daughter. How was your expedition into the jungles?
Very unique to anything I have experienced so far.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a chance to partake of the cuisine there?
No.
What a shame. Truly a one-of-a-kind experience. And the rink hospitality seems to never end.
I'm certain we'll go back at some point.
Enough with the pleasantries. I'm assuming you've acquired what you were sent there for.
I will walk up and hand her the box.
And she will take it. Just kind of like, and in one hand, sort of like turn it around and just kind of observe it and muse very quietly to herself.
Very good. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, but I don't think you'll answer them.
Then you don't have questions for me.
You could look at it that.
Well, you lack the tenacity to ask, then your brother may see you out.
Yeah, Martel just kind of, as always, I mean, if she was capable of sighing, but Martel will step forward.
Sigh. The truth is, we do have questions, and obviously it is your choice to answer or not, but we do have questions. Lithian opened the box, and we saw what was inside. I would love to know, if you are willing to tell, what your intention is with such an item.
There is no simple way to explain all of the machinations that I'm involved in. That I've acquired this object in question for a mutual party. There are goals that you have pursued and goals that I share.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lithium.
So I assume you know our head.
It might surprise you that I do in fact know almost everything you are up to.
That doesn't surprise me. To operate under the assumption that you don't know what I'm doing would be a dangerous one.
That is correct. Let it be said, with my brother missing, and his patron currently removed from its seat of power. This whole world, everyone in it, those you may care for, friends, family, are all in jeopardy. So I am helping aid in the cause to set things right. To try to help bring some balance back to the world. This is just one of the first steps.
How interesting. We've ended up on a similar path. I'm sure you had a lot to do with.
Perhaps.
Do not think I will pester you any further with these questions. But I will offer a warning. Because we opened the box, others may have found it. And we know of at least one Chaos who would be looking. Please. I know you are far more capable than we. But still, be cautious.
I will keep an eye out for them.
Martel will curtsy and say,
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
A warning. With Chaos's involvement, they are likely to be hiding everywhere. The agents of Abanus. And while many of them do claim that they revel in chaos and do not follow a plan, that's not always true. There has been a group of individuals that have been hiding for many, many generations. A group called the Council of Onyx. They help guide Abanus' ambition on this plane. They are figures of significant influence, and they hide in plain sight all around the world. Going forward, with your pursuits, do not trust anyone else of significant power. There's a very great chance that in revealing anything you do, chaos will soon follow.
yeah, Martel kind of gives one of those, like, I understand nods. That's, like, kind of halfway a bow. You know the one. It's like, yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But for Ben, what was the name of the group again? Sorry.
Council of Onyx.
Council.
They were in the game, right?
Put in the Roll20 chat.
They were one of the cards in the game, right?
They were.
Yeah.
Take an inspiration
Yeah.
point.
Hey.
Way to remember things.
Yeah.
What did you say about them?
They were one of the cards that Abanus had.
They were in the game that we lost. If I'm remembering correctly, I associated them immediately with the fuck, what are they called? Lord of the Rings things.
Nazguls.
Thank you.
Nazgul
Those
Ring
things.
Wraiths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that whole session is a big black hole for me. I have no idea what happened in it, but good to know they were a card.
They were. One of the more underwhelming cards, but a card they were.
That's also, I guess, good to know.
All right. Kiki's predatory gaze just kind of casts over the group of you, looking for any further words to be exchanged. And if the silence holds up, she'll just very dismissively just kind of give a flutter of the hand for you to leave. And that's when Dane steps back up and then gestures with a hand to the door and then walks you out.
Yep, Martel will leave.
Let him do
Jiro will follow.
As the doors are closing behind the group of you, you hear Kirill's voice kind of echo through the chamber once more.
And Lithian, dear, try to keep the expenditures down, please.
As soon as the doors close,
And just
we'll
snap.
turn to Dean and go, I think that's the closest thing I've ever heard her make to a joke.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I'm choosing to interpret that she's proud of me and what I have accomplished today. Don't argue with me.
Yes, Lady Kirill.
Oh, don't call me that. That's my mom.
And he doesn't break character once, completely stone-faced, and just goes, yes, right away. Please follow me this way. And takes you back to the front of the estate.
All while Lithian is just hurling insults at him.
When he says that,
of
Martel
course.
does her closest impression of a spit take.
Grabs a nearby vase of flowers, drinks the flower water, spits.
Just kind of dribbles down her chin because she has no air to expel it with.
Joking aside, would you like me to book you more rooms back at the Umbral Ducks, or would you like to stay at the estate? You always have space.
I'm feeling amicable to either if all of you want to stay here.
Martel just smiles at Lithian and says,
Well, I suppose with your mother leaving, you don't have as much to worry about being under her roof.
She will be gone for several days.
Yep. Which is why I'm okay with staying here. It is, quite the accommodation.
I will have some rooms made up for you. One for each is acceptable, yes?
You.
Alright, well, if you'll follow me, I will take you to the living quarters of the estate. He'll just sort of like gesture to the rooms you've been in so far. This section of the house is largely used purely for business. The other parts of the home actually do have a bit more life to them.
And that's all thanks to Dad.
Yes, speaking of which, Father should be returning sometime tomorrow morning.
And everyone else around just kind of would see Lithian light up in a way that you have not before in regards to her family. Oh, good. It would be good to see him.
don't allow us to hold you up. Follow me. He takes you back down the stairs outside of the estate, and you again walk around the enormous reflecting pool that surrounds the entire estate. You go around to the other side where you see that the interior of the reflecting pools, the mosaics inside have become much brighter and colorful. The front of the house has these enormous 25-foot tall stained glass windows, and just this huge gaping opening that is the entrance that goes into the actual front of the abode. When you get there, you are greeted by a pale-skinned elf dressed in exquisite attire, who just bows very politely. Master Dane, Lady Lithian, it is a pleasure to see you again. Will you be needing additional accommodations? And Dane will just nod. Yes, for Lithian and for her compatriots for the night. Very good. I will see that it is done. In the meantime, I will have word sent around and some food prepared and some of the other quarters spruced up. We were preparing for the Master's return later tomorrow. Anyway.
Look forward to some good grub.
You will find none more fine in this whole district.
Thank you.
Because I feel like this is a character that was kind of partially overlooked because I didn't think you'd be returning home anytime soon. This is the head of the estate, who more or less does act as master servant. His name is Decino. Decino Silre. Here, and I'll just chat for you. He's a laird elf, aka a high elf. And he has been with your mother since she established herself here on this continent. So, before she was rich. And he faithfully serves the family. For your knowledge, he is also a Lycan. He is a werelion.
Ooh.
You'll see Decino separate, and Dane will lead you down a long hallway, covered in art and fancy decorative tapestries, of which are from all different parts of the world and different cultures and different times, displaying epic battles, huge, just marvelous castles built in beautiful landscapes, places you've never seen, mostly never seen or heard of. Eventually landing in an area where you step down about 5 steps and you are in this enormous sitting room with a hearth on the far side that is large enough you could put a horse in it. It is currently lit with a bright, glowing, warm fire that is crackling away. There is a huge, there are 4 large couches that are kind of arranged nearby in front of it. A large wooden table that currently has a tea set on it, with cups enough for the group. Off to the side, you would notice that there is another exquisitely dressed individual. This one, a dark-skinned human, who is currently standing nearby waiting for any orders, and in terms of anything you might need. and you can just tell that there is a bit of commotion occurring outside, where there are two huge glass door windows that open up into an enormous outdoor swimming pool, where there are just huge hanging gardens that are dangling down from the stone and marble column pillars that wrap around it. It seems, honestly, looking back at where you just came from, all of that very exotic flora and the bright colors is very contrasted to a lot of the subterranean subterranean flora that the Kirel estate has. That is just all these very vibrant, partially glowing flowers and mushrooms and these vines that have these tiny little bulbs that kind of look like they sort of breathe in and out, and they glow brighter as they exhale, that are wrapping around the columns. And in the center of this pool is an enormous tree that goes up and covers the entire outside with this huge canopy that blocks out any light from reaching into this particular interior part of the estate. As you are all settling in, we're going to take our first power break.
All right.
We're going to come back at around 50 past. Hang on, sorry, I was looking at the wrong clock. It's 9. We're going to come back around 5 to 10 past. If you need the extra time, take it. If not, we'll begin when everyone's here.
No, the hour-long one.
No. Yeah, well, I recoup it on the back end of the session anyway, so you know what? That's your problem.
True.
My apologies to players, DM, and audience. I didn't realize the mic was picking up my eating sounds. Super sorry.
Oh, I didn't notice.
I didn't either.
Oh, okay.
Who?
I just saw.
Who dare judge you?
While I was eating, I just saw the green ring around my name, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, no, I didn't hear anything. I didn't know anyone was eating.
Good.
And trust me, I have a thing about listening to people eat. So I would have said something if it were a problem.
Yeah, good.
But you're good.
Mute
You're good.
myself once I saw that, but yeah. Well, good. Then I'm glad.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Said, screw all of you.
Yeah. Be right back. 5-10 minutes.
I'm just
Okay.
playing. You know I love you, chat. And you other people.
And you-
I'm proud to be another person. It's a great category.
Oh,
Oh man.
I am very excited that things are about to take a turn where it's not focusing on my character.
It's always a lot of pressure.
Yep.
I mean, great fight.
Oh yeah. Everything all turned around just there in the last few rounds. The dice that I'm using are the Scarlet Witch dice, and they just have enough chaos energy in them.
There you go. Normally I super frown upon the chaos energy in this game, but worked out for us this time.
Yep.
Should you use those for your D100 rolls? That'd be interesting.
I haven't yet, but I will this week.
Yeah.
I just know that when I got them, the first roll was a nat 20, so I'm just gonna keep using them.
I mean, if they're working. Although it was just a high rolling fight period. Like CJ rolled a bunch of nat 20s and like I don't think, aside from that one con save, which
It'll be interesting.
will be interesting. I don't think he like rolled below a 17. Like he was on fire.
I don't.
Crazy fight.
I think only like 1 or 2 hits didn't hit.
Yeah.
If that. Yeah, it was pretty intense. There was a point early on when he was doing all this like cool bladed hand shit, and I was like, oh my god, I'm screwed. Like, what can I do besides fucking bite him?
I mean, whatever your strategy was, it worked.
My strategy was, I don't know. I didn't have one. It was going to be, had he disappeared again, my next action would have been to hold a grapple.
Right.
But he never disappeared again.
Yeah, I was worried he was going to keep disappearing and reappearing, which, I mean, for me personally, isn't a super fun fight to be a part of, but...
Agreed, which is why I don't think CJ didn't and wouldn't.
Yeah, I suspect the same.
It's different with things like the Bahir, where it made sense for it to burrow consistently. But
yeah, exactly.
Even then, it still wasn't like gone for the whole match.
No. And yeah, I guess luckily, because you're a barbarian, you weren't taking his full damage, and he had to switch up his strategy from disappearing and coming back.
Yeah. Yay me.
Yay you.
Honestly though, those temporary hit points were really nice.
Well, I'm glad they made a difference. I did note you were like, I was down to like, what was it, 11 health at the end?
12
health? And I was like, oh, hey, those temporary hit points for those 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Kept you up.
Yep. Had I not had those and not had hit dice left for the legendary endurance, it would have been a much faster fight.
Well, I mean, way to be smart and save your dice.
I didn't even. I wished I could claim that was smart thinking ahead.
Oh, just kind of happened.
It happened to work out, yeah.
Sometimes things work out. That's alright.
Yep. That saved my butt. But yeah, I'm really excited to know that I can look forward to next week, and it's not going to be Lithian focused.
Are you sure?
You know what? I'm not. But you know what? Please.
You're kind of a big deal. I'm finding everyone's finding out.
It's true.
I mean, none of us could have won that pit fight.
Like, I have strategies to try and fight solo in my brain, but there's no way that they'd work out on paper the way that it does in your brain.
Martell just can't do it. Her whole thing is helping other people. She can't win a fight by herself. Unless the opponent is quite a bit weaker.
I'm just saying, imagine had you gone with magical weapons and items.
I'm glad I didn't.
He's got some stuff.
Yeah,
and you'll
I'm sure
never
he
know.
Does.
What was
I
the
wouldn't say never.
All right, I guess I'll tell you. He has an ability. It's called Slayer, which is once per turn. When he hits his favorite foe, he forces a Constitution save, and if they fail, he can either blind you, deafen you, make you frightened of him, poison you, or restrain you. And he gets to do it once every turn.
Real glad that I saved that.
Me not, but also me too. Of course, I got to cheer for my boy, but at the same time,
yeah, no,
good going.
Super cool guy.
And you don't know that we'll never find out. We'll have to come back there eventually.
Yeah, you might see 15 again. Or maybe you fight someone higher up on the list next time.
I feel like Martell got a little bit upset at me for mentioning Sarah.
Well, if anything, it seems like it was a weird tact. It was like, well, be nice to this Sarah girl whenever she shows up. Not, so she's looking for this thing that might be on your island. Do you know where it is?
Yeah.
I was told not to talk about the item, so
Well,
I tried to talk about the item.
5, a high-ranking member of the rink who was literally going, the honor of your fighter's win obliges me to help you if I can in any other way that is not pertaining to the fight. Is there? And it's just like, nope. It was like, okay.
Okay.
No skin off of 5's back.
At some point, Lithian is going to talk everyone into going back there so she can actually get ranked.
You know, fun fact, had you taken the choice to try to get 15's rank, when you place on the rink in their system, you can directly request aid from anyone below you in rank. So like if you guys are going on a mission and you need someone to fill in a gap, you just go to the rink and go, all right, so who's on the roster today? And then go, you follow me. And they do.
Well, that is exciting.
Had
But
it gone to the
also
guns-
means that 5 could have been like, Lithian, follow me.
We
would have been obliged to do so.
Well, she would have, but then again, and this is part of the tradition. And had Lithian not, she would lose her rank, or she'd have to fight for it. Like, so if she declines and goes, no, I don't want to do that, and then 5 would issue a formal challenge, and then if Lithian lost, Lithian would lose her rank, or if she beat 5, she would get 5's rank. That's literally how the culture exists.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Given
like
how tight 15 was.
Yeah, 5 is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, given 7 is Seshok.
Right.
Yup. Yeah, go fight Seshok first. Let's see how you size up against him, and then
Okay.
go fight 5.
Nope. But at some point, like I said, I will be going back and getting ranked.
I mean, I want that more than anything. I get to show you the Grand Coliseum they have. You ever wondered what a a warrior culture that has lasted for thousands of years doing this? You want to know what like their ritualistic consecrated battleground looks like? It's sweet. It's super sweet.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
We were just on their practice grounds, weren't we?
You were just in one of like that ring you were in. There are hundreds of them on the island.
If a
They're
fight
literally
needs to
literally
break
just
out. You can go somewhere to break it out.
yeah. Well, the point is they're consecrated ritual sites to do exactly what you guys did, which is go fight for something that someone has challenged the ring for. Especially if it's just a one-on-one, and that's what they use.
Man, I wish we had more time to spend over there, but after we've accomplished some more things, I want to go back.
Like I said, we will be going back.
Then we can go play with some lizards. It'll be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys can go fight the king of the mountain.
I want to fight a Tarask. I really do.
Why would you say that?
I don't yet.
All right, well, here it comes.
No, only one said it. You can't take that for a group majority.
Too late. The ground beneath your the cobblestones beneath your feet begin to shake.
Find out that the P-Ral estate is built on the back of a Tarask.
Yep.
Ah, shoot. This seems like an oversight.
Or was it?
I mean, theoretically, we'd be quick enough into this that we would get to see Kiki fight.
Yeah. Low key, she can beat a Tarask. At least Monster Manual Standard Tarask.
Yeah.
They don't have magical weapons. A lot of things can just outlast a Tarask. You know, as written. Kind of dumb.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of dumb.
Again, it's just like, Lycans who regularly in their histories challenge other Lycans for a right to lead the pack, especially in werewolf lycanthropy at the very least. They in D&D cannot physically bring harm to each other. It's impossible. They're immune to their own claw attacks.
Which is, I mean, it's also funny because you're like, oh, I imagine there's a hierarchy among Lycans, right? Like the were-rats can't be very well respected by like the were-tigers. But the truth is, a were-rat can fight a were-tiger just as easy as a were-tiger can fight a were-rat.
It's true.
Well, if it ever comes up in my own DMing, I think I'll make some changes to that.
Yeah, what I've done is just that I allow Lycans to just harm each other. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Like, Lycans are not immune to damage from other Lycans' attacks. That's all it does for me.
I really hope that we go back and 15 is now a Lycan.
I mean...
You'll find out.
Yep.
Too bad it's not like vampirism where like then you're thrall. Too bad.
Yeah, because what you're about is absolutely enslaving people and removing their free will.
Oh yeah, totally.
Nice. Sweet. I think the Rink would probably ritualistically kill him then.
Ooh,
Yeah.
poor guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't know. That's all speculation. But hey, is everyone back?
Hmm.
I believe so.
Em?
Yes.
Okay.
Never left.
Well, here I was waiting for you the whole time. Awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in which case, we're back. And you are all settling into the Kirel estate, where after a few minutes, numerous different servants would come, and as you see, there's just a smattering of different races that work here in the Kirel estate. Although it is worth mentioning, there is not a single Tafakari among them. But they're all well-dressed, well-mannered, and you are brought in this large sitting room, a very quickly but expertly put together spread of delicious foods, along with drinks of your desire. There was tea that was immediately prepared for you, which is very nice. It's a mixed berry tea that hails from the Solombra, the Tafakari homeland.
Yeah, Martel will try some tea for standard 12 sugars. You know, a little less, because it sounds like just sweet tea already.
Yeah,
so.
like a servant just comes up and goes, "Would you like any sugars, ma'am?" And it's just like, one cube, more, another cube, another cube, another cube. And the guy's face just doesn't ever break, but he just keeps doing it. And everyone's just watching as this weird, like, autonomous, like, sugar cube, more, sugar cube. It just happens.
Tazira's just watching this, her eyes widening. Like, she says nothing, but she's obviously just staring.
Dane has joined you, and he is sitting reclined quite comfortably into one of the couches, sipping from a cup, and just kind of casually remarks, "I wouldn't suggest overeating, however. Dinner will be prepared shortly, in about a half hour's time. And by then your rooms will likewise be prepared for you to retire to at your leisure." Otherwise, you're more than free to enjoy any of the various activities here at the estate. You may take a swim in the pool. We have servants that are capable, masseuses. You can go into the kitchen and request food. Really, if you're staying here, you are more than capable of asking for just about anything.
Martel, we should go to
Think
the
sounds
spa.
fun. Oh, spa, yes.
After that.
That smiles.
That sounds lovely.
I could use a massage and a facial and someone to rub my feet.
Martel just kind of confusedly looks at Lithian and is like,
I didn't think that you would be into facials.
Oh. I'm sorry, this is the player, not the...
Broke the player.
Lucian just looks at you like, kind of squints her eyes, like she like, do you know what she's uncertain whether or not you're joking.
Well,
I guess that would be an insight check, but
Meanwhile, Dane just kind of keeps speaking. Well, you won't have any further need for me to show you around. Lithian, you're clearly familiar, and you know it's available to you. Tajira Asvard, simply ask for one of the servants, and they will be more than happy to aid you in any way that they can. If you do have particular need of me, I'm likely going to be spending the remainder of my time in the library this evening, finishing my research for your trip.
I would like to look at this library.
Very well.
At some point during this evening in the estate, Lothian spent a long time like regaling Dane with the fight, reliving it with things definitely exaggerated, but not by much because they don't really need that much exaggeration.
No, it was nuts. And honestly, like, casual onlookers probably wouldn't even be able to keep up with most of the fight. It's like, you know, like the later episodes of DBZ where their power levels get really absurd that normal people just can't even see anything anymore.
Yeah.
so our animation budget was cut.
Yep.
We're just like going on and on until like he stops her.
Well, you know, over dinner, he's more than happy to, to just humor you and let you just go on and on. And he's genuinely interested. The Rink are a very closed off society, so he's more than happy to get anything he can. He's also got the classic floating tome and quill nearby that's just taking notes on everything you're saying.
Stenographer.
Yeah, like I said, other than dinner being a mildly formal occasion, like there's no one else there. It's literally just the five of you.
Five, yeah.
Yeah, the five of you, literally sitting down around a very large dinner table. Just you sort of occupy one corner of the table. And you're given a 7-course meal from the chef of the estate. And it is exquisite. Like, you would be hard pressed to try to pay for this anywhere else, with the exception of the higher end food clubs in the 4th district. And everything's very nice and very relaxed, and you are treated like royal. When dinner is done, I'm sorry, Hazard, what were you saying?
No, sorry. I was just saying it's nice to eat.
Yes, eating is enjoyable.
Is
yes,
nice.
I do like to eat.
I cut you off for that. Oh my goodness.
Well, Hasvard has his emote coming up.
It's nice to eat.
It's nice to eat.
You're so sweet, Kyle.
After that ordeal, you are more or less free in your time to go about the estate. Dane, as previously mentioned, does retire to the library, which is in another section of the estate, about a 15-minute walk away, which he will take anyone interested in following him, but on the warning that while it is not, exceptionally busy, that quiet is the most important thing. And you will see that the Keyrell keep an enormous, well up-to-date library. It almost compares to the 5th District's library, which is a district that is literally an entire school that is a city. And it's comparable. And Dane has a section of the library that is sort of cordoned off with several tables that are very clearly just looks like his corner of the library that no one's ever supposed to touch, because it's got that eclectic, like, genius clutter that if you move something, it's everything's going to be completely wrong and only he can ever understand it. Otherwise, he sort of sits down, will, just literally just, please look at anything you wish. Nothing is off limits. Just make sure, try not to damage any of the books.
Is there a librarian?
There is.
Okay. Tizira will approach her, or him.
Bold of you to assume.
I said her or him.
Bold of you to assume.
Or it.
No, sorry. This is not another changeling. Those are too rare. But in that typical elven way, they are very androgynous. So it is a little bit difficult to tell. There is a Tafakari that you are sort of pointed at. That is the librarian. They're currently off to the side behind a desk, going through some paperwork. Their name is Delind. Again.
Where are you pasting this?
Roll 20, chat.
Delende. Hello.
Greetings. How may I be of assistance?
I am looking to find. It is a difficult subject. Books on the mutation.
Do you have a particular vein of interest you are currently researching?
Magical.
Very well. If you would, follow me, please. They get up and they walk out from behind the desk, kind of straightening the long coat that they wear. They adjust the half silver moon glasses that are resting on their nose, and they sort of walk very briskly into the library. You go up a flight of corkscrew stairs and go up to the 3rd floor, where you are led to a section that is quite plainly labeled mutations, and then there are subcategories for it, both arcane, genetic, curse, and divinity. And then you were just led to a section and then kind of politely gestured to at a handful of shelves. This should suffice for most of the research you require.
Her mouth slightly open. She's never seen so many books on one kind of subject.
I'm afraid I do not know where to begin. Do you have maybe a knowledge of which book would be best for... I do not read much.
Sorry, I'm just imagining like she pulls out like a pop-up picture book.
Yes, I'm afraid we are on the wrong section of the library. The children's section is down there.
Oh, God, gotta have some sympathy for the poor girl.
Well, arcane mutation is a heavily studied subject matter. If you would like the basics, there is a good series of books written by a gnomish professor from Mythlight on the subject matter. And they'll take a moment and kind of peruse the shelves and then stop, and then you'll see a very clearly marked set of books that all have the exact same binding, and on the spines you'll just see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she will just they'll sort of just politely gesture to there. This would be a good start as any. It will explain the introductory concepts of mutation in genetics, and then move into the methods of arcane manipulation that have been done in experiments in the last 500 years in terms of helping evolve a species to generate traits that are uncommon for them.
So it is in studying how to create mutations.
Yes.
Is there books about uncontrollable mutation, sudden magical?
In particular, yes, this series is still a place to start, but it is not in the beginning book that you would want to read. Book 4 has a dissertation that speaks heavily about... they have a moment where they pause to consider the wording to use. Chaotic mutations through uncontrollable means.
Would you please be kind enough to point it out? I would read it.
Very
And
well.
she'll take the book off and just
Yeah,
ask for the
and
book.
as mentioned, they'll point to the 4th one in the series and then pull it down off the shelf with 2 hands. It's a very heavy, thick tome. And then we'll politely hand it to you.
Thank you.
And she'll go and sit down, and I guess she's gonna try to read some of it.
Okay. Big, long book. Gonna take some time. The librarian will politely excuse themselves to go return to their work, and you can see down below on the 1st floor, in the section of the library near the windows where Dane is currently just standing between 2 long tables covered in open scrolls and books, where he's just got his hands on his hips, kind of looking at a bunch of information. You see just several objects sort of floating around, either taking notes or moving something.
I would like to talk to Dane.
Okay, so you'll mosey in not too long after, when the librarian sort of returns to the front of this very large building. It is not hard to see Dane. He is off in his corner, and there's magic happening, so it's pretty easy to spot.
Yeah, floating books and whatnot.
Mhm.
I know it's only been not even a full day, but sorry, it has been. Anyways, did you happen to find what we talked about last time?
The insect.
Yes, the blinded ones.
I have put in the request. They are currently being acquired.
Okay.
I was anticipating your trip being slightly longer. I figured the jungles would have consumed a bit more of your time.
You and me both, but we were in a hurry.
Even so.
Well, in that case, I'll just read like last time.
Well, there will be something here that will catch your interest, I am sure. You go speak to Delend. They will point you in the right direction.
Thanks, Dane.
Mm-hmm.
wanders off, gently humming.
The librarian's currently just getting situated again.
I didn't meet you last time. What's your name? I know his name's Delend, but I didn't meet him.
My name is Delend.
Pleasure to meet you.
What more would you know of me?
I would know of you. Section on hopefully history. Possibly items of the Creation War, and such like that.
It's awfully general, but we have a section that will likely meet your needs. You want some heavy reading?
I love heavy reading. I've got nothing but time.
Please follow me. And they get up, straighten their coat, adjust their glasses, take you up the corkscrews set of stairs up to the second floor, and in a section of the library that is very dense, you are basically left at the edge of an area that is just simply labeled the Great Creation War. And on each row of shelves, there are multiple dozens across all the shelves, but there's about a dozen or so different small placards on the side that are listing subcategories of content.
Beautiful.
You will find if you go down to the 8th row, a section on religious iconography. The section after that will speak about items related to both the title bearers, the primordial gods and their armies, along with anything wielded or created by those individuals that fought in the Great Creation War.
Thank you, Glendy.
Enjoy your reading.
Are we allowed tea up here?
As long as you do not spill anything on the books, there is one opportune warning before you are promptly catapulted from the estate otherwise.
Thank you for the warning. I would still like the tea.
I will summon someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, where to dig in? And he walks in the direction of the aisle that
Oh, yeah.
Dylan told him.
A lot of books. Hundreds upon hundreds of books.
I've got lots of time.
You really don't, but okay.
Well, I have till tomorrow morning.
I mean, yeah, you got 12 hours. You'll
Get through
maybe
all
be able to
of
read half of one of these books if you're a really fast reader. You literally ask for one of the most dense subject matters in the entire setting.
I love it. Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm just
yeah.
going to go for what I asked for then.
Great Creation War stuff. All right, well, let's get into the nitty gritty of it.
Well, I'm hoping that we come back here every so often.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe?
And then you're saying that here when Lithian's not in the room, and Lithian's like, yeah, I would just hope people don't get too comfortable here so that they don't decide to keep coming back. While the rest of the party is like, this is the new headquarters, right?
I wouldn't say the rest of the party.
You haven't been to the spa yet.
Yeah.
Or
this
the
is exciting.
amphitheater.
Martel has I've always loved baths, and although she's rubbed shoulders with many people in high society, I don't think spa days would have been a thing that would have been a part of her regular workings during those times. So I think this is probably a first for her.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Well, cut away from all the book nerds. To Lithian and Martel going to enjoy their spa.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure I
Upon,
specified I'm not.
upon learning that you haven't had a spa day experience, Lithian would make sure to get a full menu of, pick your massage and body wrap and hot oil hair treatment and pedicures and manicures and all of the whatever.
Everything.
Just
like 8 hours of pampering.
Basically, yes.
And the whole time you could have sweets delivered to you. I like to imagine they offered to bring you like drinks, like, would you like a glass of wine? And the Martell just like, sweets. So Lithian gets a bottle of wine and you just get a basket full of goods, like sweet goods all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think this would be a new and unique experience for Martell. I don't think she's ever been pampered like this. Quite to this extent, sure, for sure not, but...
It is an ordeal, to put it simply. Yeah, and like I said, it is about 7 solid hours of non-stop spa treatments, where you are cared for in a way that you've never experienced anywhere before. And you are, just treated to whatever you want, and conversation is, cordial and fun, and you really just get the feel experiencing it, especially someone like you, Martell, who's been in a lot of various different experiences of high society. Mm-hmm. Going through this, you feel the level of wealth that the Keyrell family has. It is so over the top that only someone with so much money that they could just literally throw away could ever experience something like this, let alone having people and a place to do it in the place that they live. Mm-hmm. You could build a small city for like the mild amount of accommodations you're receiving tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Martell is loving it and is very excited and happy to share this experience with Lithian.
Likewise, whenever it is you decide to retire, any of you, the guest rooms are really nice. We're talking guest rooms that are the size of small houses with third and second rooms attached to them. Huge 4-poster beds with canopies, gigantic windows that walk out onto balconies that overlook the huge reflecting pools down below on the ground levels. And everything is just exquisite. Along with, of course, the bedding, which is like sleeping on a cloud. And can easily be adjusted to your taste if for some odd reason people like to sleep like a dwarf and sleep on a stone bed. But no one's a dwarf, so I don't see that. Right.
No, sleeping on clouds sounds fantastic.
With the time tonight, other than the bookworms, who I know are going to raise their hands on this, is there anything of particular import you would like to get done?
A quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are my accommodations like my old bedroom, or is it a guest quarters?
In the typical fashion, they would have prepared an extra room for you, but they would offer you to stay in your old room as well, which has been maintained.
Okay. Wanted to know if it was no longer there.
No, it's a gym. It's a gym. I'm kidding. No, the room has been maintained. It is completely spotless.
Go and pass out.
Okay. Worth mentioning, the place you're staying tonight is exquisite. It is one of the most luxurious places you will ever stay and rest in. This is one of the rare times where a long rest would give you maximum HP back. You will get all of your hit dice back. And for the next 24 hours, you receive a +1 to all of your saving throws and ability checks. Oh, and of course, hang on, where's my D12? And you also receive 12 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
For what it matters.
Happy to receive it.
As for the book readers, I would like both of you to make me an investigation check.
Can I use guidance?
Sure.
Nice. Okay. Well, 18's not bad.
18 is not bad. Tajira, the book you are reading is, as expected, very well written and very informative. The individual that is responsible, the author for this, clearly has done a great amount of study over the course of a very long lifetime, being that he was gnomish. And there are citations from a lot of his experiments that date back 600 years ago. The thing that you gather the most from this, in particular, wild, uncontrollable mutations that are related to at least an arcane source, the most recurring theme that is noted is that when it cannot be controlled, it needs to be removed. So whatever is causing the source of wild, uncontrollable magic, it needs to be sectioned away from it, so the way the magic can stop influencing the host.
Okay. All right. Well, she'll note down a few of the noteworthy passages, and that'll be it for her study.
Okay. All right, now for the hard guy. Hasvard. The thing you're looking, like, you're literally in a haystack full of needles trying to find an even smaller needle. Because we're talking about an era of time that few people actually know how long it was. And much of what's spoken about it is all speculation. Because really, there's only a handful of people that are still alive from that point, and most of those are gods. So there's not a whole ton of concrete information that exists anymore. So the important thing is, what in particular are you homing in on? Like, what's the specific thing? Is there a specific thing? Or are you just going for the first thing that you come across?
We know that axe is half a deity weapon now, right?
Yes, that is what Dane said. That it was half of a deeffect, and that he was researching the exact location as to where to find the other half.
And then Whisper Scar's dagger obviously was as well.
Yep.
Can I look for any stories that cross with those two artifacts to try and figure out like what's the most likely ones that actually do exist?
I'm not following.
Well, to me at least, it'd be more likely for, say, a de-effect artifact to exist if it's in a story that involves one of those two. Instead of...
Right.
Or, is that not a thing?
No, I gotcha. Well, okay, well, let's see if you have any luck. Roll D100 for me.
Oh, cool. Let me use my dirty dice that I don't usually use. See if they do me well or do me dirty. 93.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Ooh.
There is one reference you find which corresponds with the assassin's weapon that belonged to Whisper's. There was another historically powerful and dangerous assassin that belonged to another title bearer. They are referred to in these texts as the Fell Shadow, which to you actually rings a bit of a bell, because the Fell Shadow is the champion of Rattree. And you know that the Fell Shadow is a champion that is not like the other champions of gods who march around enacting the will of their gods as they see fit on the prime material plane. Rattree's champion is unique in that she will place the mantle onto an individual and they will not know until they are activated. And when the Fell Shadow is activated, they are sent to kill a single individual in a grand scheme that is going to affect the world in such a negative way that it needs to be dismantled. And the killing the one person, called the linchpin person, devastates the entire ordeal. You find a retelling of a retelling of a retelling of the experience that an very ancient Tafakari had with a member of his family that allegedly was one such Fell Shadow, or at the very least imbued with the power. And with that power came the knowledge and all of the history of the previous Fell Shadow. And they more or less wrote down the story that they told of this experience between Whisper Scar and a Fell Shadow of ancient times, where they shared a mission together to kill the exact same target in the Great Creation War. But the thing that stands out is that you take note that there is a weapon that the Fell Shadow uses to hunt and kill its targets. It is referred to in the book as the Mist Stalker. It is a crossbow that is capable of paralyzing its targets before the crossbow bolt strikes, allowing for pinpoint precision attacks on their vitals, along with a slew of other abilities that are very useful for an assassin to have access to.
Terrifying. The fun.
That is the name. That is the name and the information you get on it. If you end up spending any greater deal of time, you can now begin researching specifically the name of the item in question and seeing where that can take you.
I will do so after everyone else does their things. Because I'm going to spend all night here.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Like I said, if there is no other pressing business, make a pause for anyone to get in.
Nope.
You will all get a long rest with the aforementioned bonuses.
Hooray!
It was worth staying here.
Good bonuses to
remember?
have.
Roll my
healing.
chaos D100.
Oh, right. D100s. Yes, CJ?
D100s. You are correct.
Oh, I love these dice. These are good dice. These are really good dice.
47.
99.
Oh,
Chaos dice.
I got a 62.
I got a 92.
Mm.
'Cause
Yes.
apparently I can't spend too much time having different numbers.
Nope. Unacceptable.
Good. All these good vibes going into the frozen north.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Going into possibly the most dangerous place we've ever gone to. Yeah.
I suppose real pointedly, Lithian or Martel, respectively, was there anything of particular interest or import that were on your minds when you guys were preparing to finally just knock out for the evening?
I will send you a message.
Noted.
Genuinely, Lithium would be thinking about going back to the rink and beating 15 and taking his rank.
Okay.
If you get to dream fight 15 and take his rank, I'll be so excited.
And you thought next session wouldn't be a Lithian session.
I have to skip next session. I don't know why yet, but I'll let you know sometime this week.
Hmm. Actually, I kind of want this. Lithian, when you have finally retired for the night, after the immense amount of pampering and the relaxation and girl time you're able to have with Martel, you find yourself for the first time in a long time very comfortable. Almost maybe teetering on daring to say the word happy. You fall asleep. It is warm, it is comfortable, and it is familiar. In a good way. But at some point in the night, your senses begin to hear things that don't sound normal. You instead begin to hear the sounds of the wildlife back on the island. When your senses finally snap to that something is just off, you, still sitting in your bed, find yourself on this immense brick road. And down at the end of it, you see a singular individual standing there. They are dressed very plainly. On their feet, a pair of plain sandals. They are garbed in baggy red pants. They are wearing a simple leather chest piece with bare arms exposed and a red shoulder-topped hood. And on their face is a plain white mask.
Do you know, child, of Kirel why you are here now.
I assume it's something to do with what happened earlier.
No. It has everything to do with what you are going to do in the future. Do you know where your path is taking you?
Sort of.
Tell me.
I know the immediate plan. Find the cards that you are aware of to bring back my uncle, the hunters. But beyond that, I don't know the place.
It need not be said. This quest you are on will not be an easy one. In fact, you will be met with resistance the whole time. Recovering a single card will never be simple, and frequently, as you've already experienced, will sometimes bring heartbreak with it. But the gathering of the cards is not the concern. It is my job as a master, as the most powerful here among the rink, to watch the movements of both gods and mortals on this plane. It was I who extended the invitation to your mother to come to the island, to battle for the hero. Because I knew the Kirel family would be integral to what is coming. And I was pleased to see that her daughter is just as capable as she is. There is a great upset that is coming. You've known much pain in your life, yes?
Yes.
Would you ever wish any of that pain upon anyone else?
Never.
Then understand this, Liffy and Kirel. The time will come where you must make an impossible decision. One wherein it will alter the course of fate and history both as we know it. It will control who will oversee the seat of death. I stand before you now, not to be a cryptic harbinger of this news, but to instead bolster your strength. I've seen the potential in you. I've seen your ability to endure pain. I have seen the empathy in you. For the day that is coming, you must be stronger. You must complete the piece of the weapons that you carry And you must find a balance between yourself and the beast within. And that is both an instruction for you personally, but also relationship advice with your family. Both chords must be struck and be in tune. What say you?
I say, I knew I signed up, but didn't think that I would be so much at the forefront of it. I figured I'd be a nice little guide. But know that I am capable of doing some of these things. I hope that I become capable of doing the others that you're talking.
Very good. Time will tell. Tests will tell. Look forward to seeing your strength grow. We will speak again. But until then, enjoy your well-earned rest.
And the figure turns on heel and slowly begins walking away. And as they do, you feel an overwhelming lethargy take over you. And the sounds of the jungle fade away. You are sound asleep again. Congratulations. You are the first person to ever meet that particular god in my setting.
Huh. I feel intimidated.
A mask with no marks. It's pretty intimidating.
No.
Yeah, that's Zero. Otherwise
Yep.
known as the Master.
Yeah.
The god so powerful that all the other gods were like, yeah, that's the guy that's got to watch over the cards.
Mm-hmm. So the gods don't mess with them.
So the gods don't mess with them.
Yep. Oh. We'll just put another complex on Talithian.
Okay. I'm assuming you and I will speak later, Martel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll send you a message. I'm struggling to find the words right now for what I want, or
Okay.
for what Martel was thinking of. And
Perfectly fine.
I just need a bit, of time to get the words because of things in my life right now. Anyways.
Mm-hmm. Right. In which case, you are all going to receive your long rest and can wake up the following morning with Hasvard still buried face deep in a book in the library. Hasvard, roll me another investigation check. Unfortunately, you spend the remainder of the night hours where everyone else is asleep trying to find more information about this particular defact.
Mhm.
and nothing comes up.
I didn't
There
expect it.
are further references to it, but there is nothing that points you in any direction.
That's okay.
But you know who might have answers for you? Ratry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to her last night, but, like, I didn't get any response. It's
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, she left you on red.
Yeah. Like, it's been a few days, so I might be a little bit grouchy because, like, I haven't heard anything about my daughter, but, like, it's fine.
I mean, she's not reporting on your daughter.
I know, no one is.
I mean,
Anyway.
maybe Rothchester killed Neferi.
Stop it.
No.
Hasward prayed to Ratri and got a new phone. Who dis?
Please, if there's ever a fight between Rochester and Neferi, I want to see it.
Don't you worry. I'm going to start doing some narrative openers with things happening elsewhere in the world that isn't directly related to you guys. If that ever comes up, that'll be one.
Cool.
Cool.
It'll be sweet. But also, if it ever happens and Neferi doesn't win, that's really bad news.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. We won't talk about that.
No, we're not going to. We're not going to. That's the darkest timeline. We don't talk about that.
Why did... See, as soon as you say the darkest timeline, it means that it's the timeline we're in. Like, stop.
I mean, yeah, with that attitude.
We are not in the darkest timeline.
No, you're not. It could be way worse. I could have killed way more of you by now.
It's true.
The following morning arrives. The Kirel estate is quiet, as is expected. In the library, Dane is nowhere to be found. Having taken his leave pretty early sometime that morning, around 4 a.m., vanishing somewhere into the estate. Breakfast is, you have servants all individually warn you that breakfast will be prepared at 8 to welcome home the returning Master Varian. AKA Lithian's dad, AKA Kiki's husband.
AKA the nice one.
Yes.
I imagine this is one of the few mornings that Martel doesn't have to wake Lithian.
Yeah, no, Lithian is awake and ready to go, like, early. And it's weird.
Well, this is a surprise.
Yeah, don't get used to it.
Understood.
She, I assume, would know where to go to wait for him to get there.
Yes. He is, you actually heard this mentioned from Dane the other day. That he is traveling via teleportation circle. So he will be arriving in the Arcanum attached to Dane's laboratory. Which is technically not attached to the living quarters. So it's about a 15-minute walk, which is the reason why they're like, yes, welcome him in here. So do you want to wait, or do you want to go like nuts to that and go meet him?
I'm not waiting. I'm gonna go meet him.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Tel will let Lithian meet her father by herself. She'll wait in the eating room, the sitting room, wherever, the dining room.
Yeah, Tishiota will be there as well. In the dining room, not going to meet father.
Fair enough. The dining room, the table has been changed. It is now much smaller and accommodates 8 people. You are all given seats. And early parts of the meal are brought to you. Just simple snacks and warm drinks to tide you over before the master arrives. Meanwhile, Lithian, You leave, you walk down the long hallway to leave the living quarters, and you run into Dane, who is politely waiting outside. Sister, I figured I'd expect you this time, surprisingly.
Well, you know why.
Of course. Please, join me. And he sticks out an elbow.
I will take it and go.
I figured we'd expedite the process a little. And you both take the first step together, and you blink, and you're 60 feet away. And you kind of do that. You literally only walk about 5 or 6 steps before you arrive outside the Arcanum, blinking from place to place to place. And then he just sort of waves a hand, and you see the doors swing inward. And inside it's almost like walking into the entrance to a grand cathedral. The frontmost room has no ceiling, but goes up 6 floors. There are huge windows that are inscribed with arcane glyphs and various sigils. And in the center of this room is a slightly raised, large circular dais with a teleportation circle inscribed on it. And it only takes about the better part of a minute before you see the runes begin to glow, lighting up around the edges, and then getting to the circle where they all just sort of snake across until they all fill in the patterns in the middle. There's a bit of electricity in the air that makes the hair on your arm stand up for a brief moment, and then just a flash. And standing there, quite literally, with a traveling bag on the ground next to him, and a fur-trimmed cloak up over his head, is the ultimately familiar and very warm smile of your father, Varian, who puts the hood down, shakes off a bunch of snow that had gathered on top of him, then just kind of has a moment where he looks around. Oh, Lithian. I will admit I wasn't expecting for you to be here. And
I will run up and hug him like a small child.
Yeah, he literally just ignores everything and just walks down the steps, and he meets you halfway. Dane politely stands by and waits. And as you embrace, that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh, that's
Seems like
cute.
Seems like a
That's
good
a cute
seems like a good
kitten.
spot. Yeah.
Nice, wholesome spot.
Yeah, for once, we don't get a whole ton of those.
No, you don't.
I don't have a problem.
Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging out, chat. Love you guys.
Yeah, woo, 6 viewers, that's great.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed the fight. There were some interesting things that were learned today, and then a bunch of pampering and side things. And the start of next session is going to be a crap ton of information that'll be delivered after breakfast, where we're probably going to get a handful of just casual conversations between Varian and the kids. And where the rest of the party will be able to meet Varian, the much warmer counterpart to Kiki, who is ice cold.
No voice changer with him.
Nope, plain old Varian. He might develop an accent between now and next week as I try to decide what I want him to sound like. I hadn't necessarily anticipated you making it back as quickly as you did.
None of us did.
But yeah, so as always, upcoming games Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Wednesdays 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Still love that game. I really do. I really honestly, earnestly do. They're great people and they're very funny. Just, I'm not a morning person, but I am for them. And Fridays, as always, with these lovely bunch of folks. I almost said coconuts because I was singing that song the other day. But you're not a lovely bunch of coconuts. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Thank you guys for playing. It's always a pleasure. I'm apparently going to be writing a bunch of books over the course of the next week for all this reading people are doing. I literally had a player from one of my other games go, "Yeah, but did you write more than the cliff notes that you gave me?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, you wanted me to write a 700-page book in a week?" Like, I struggle to write stories for D&D, and you want me to write a whole book? I'm like, well, actually, it might make it easier. Anyway, that's it from us. And after that weird tangent, we're gonna go to bed, as should maybe everyone else. So good night.